Unlike Rush Limbaugh, I do not meet and exceed all audience expectations on a daily basis. I can't even do it on a weekly basis, but I do try to share those things which point us to having a biblical worldview about such matters as politics. I'm Mel McGinnis, and we have been observing what is troubling many people regarding this whole impeachment thing. It is creating strife, division, and animosity. Brian Mast, a congressman from Florida, a double amputee losing both legs from fighting for America, asked a question on the floor of the House during the impeachment process. I rise with a very simple question, Mast offered. On January 6th, thousands of people broke the law by taking siege of our Capitol. Here with us inside, has any one of those persons who brought violence on our Capitol been brought here to say whether they did that because of our president? For 27 seconds, Congressman Mast was silent. There was no response in that House chamber. A few behind him said no, but those on the other side, the Democrats, just sat there. They said nothing. You see, I feel like this impeachment process was a matter that wasn't really taken seriously. No, it was taken seriously in that they really didn't want justice. They just wanted to issue a vendetta. They wanted to get their pound of flesh. They were in it for an act of retaliation, not so much impeachment. The left cheapened, trivialized, and railroaded the impeachment process like mob rule does. You know, Brian Mast didn't just ask a good question to the entire chamber. He followed it up on cable TV with this statement. Hold me to a high standard. Don't hold me to a double standard. We see other countries going socialist and collapsing, but it seems like a great plan to us, I read on an email. Somehow it's un-American for the census to count how many Americans are in America. People who say that there's no such thing as gender are demanding a female president. What a good email to illustrate the double standard we're observing. Universities that advocate equality discriminate against Asian Americans in favor of African Americans. Some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, and other people are not held responsible for what they're doing right now. Criminals are caught and released to hurt more people, but stopping them is bad because it's a violation of their rights. People who have never owned slaves should pay slavery reparations to people who have never been slaves. After legislating gender, if a dude pretends to be a woman, you are required to pretend with him. It was cool for Joe Biden to blackmail the president of Ukraine, but it's an impeachable offense if Donald Trump inquires about it. People who have never been to college should pay the debts of college students who took out huge loans for their degrees. Immigrants with tuberculosis and polio are welcome, but you'd better be able to prove you vaccinated your dog. Irish doctors and German engineers who want to immigrate to the U.S. must go through a rigorous vetting process to get into America, but any illegitimate gangbanger who jumps the southern fence is welcomed. $5 billion for border security is too expensive, but $1.5 trillion for free health care is not. If you cheat to get into college, you go to prison. But if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free. And pointing out all this hypocrisy somehow makes us racists. Nothing makes sense anymore. No values, no morals, no civility, and people are dying of a Chinese virus, but it's a racist thing to refer to it as the China virus. We are clearly living in an upside-down world where killing murderers is wrong, but killing innocent babies is right. Regarding the nationwide protests erupting peacefully and violently on the streets of cities all over America, Kamala Harris said, "Everyone beware! They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. They're not going to let up, and they should not." And then she added this tweet: "If you're able to, chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those who are protesting on the ground in Minnesota." Harris tweeted that on June the 1st. Why do you have to post bail for somebody who's peacefully protesting? These protests were riots. There were vandals and looters. And Harris incited it even more by wanting bail posted for them. And here our president, Donald Trump, said, "Go to the Capitol to peacefully and patriotically make your voice known." And he was impeached. Oh, what did Congressman Brian Mast say? "Hold me to a high standard, not a double standard." Well, unlike Tony Kornheiser, pardon the interruption, I cannot promise you that I'll do better the next time.